Have you ever wondered why silver is Ag on the periodic table? Well, Ag stands for Argentum, which is Latin for silver. And today we're at the Argenta Mine in Death Valley, which tells us that this is probably an old silver mine. Let's go have a look and see what we can find. The Argenta Mine is part of the Wild Rose Mining District. Started in the late 1870s and famous for the Wild Rose charcoal kilns. This particular mine, first located in 1924, was purchased by the Southwestern Lead Company. But by 1930, George Grist, an employee of the company, filed a lawsuit in lieu of unpaid wages, and eventually an order of sale was instituted against the company, resulting in Grist becoming the new owner. Grist, at one time known as the Sheriff of the Panamints, was living at the mine by 1933. By 1943, the mine consisted of a 30-foot shaft on the top of the ridge and a 630-foot adit with lateral workings. The town's main street was lined with about 20 one-room boarding houses, a large cistern, chicken coop, and other amenities for camp life, all of which have clearly fallen into complete disrepair. There was a machine shop, an electric light plant, with an Ingersoll Rand air compressor and a Fairbanks Morse gas engine. Higher on the hill were at least two other buildings, a two-story structure, and possibly an assayer's office. Oh wow, check this out. This old car flipped on its top. Let's go have a look. This is probably an old 1955 Buick Roadmaster. You can tell by the four venti ports on the side, the shape of the grille, and the metal flare along the door. It's crazy to think at one point someone was driving this vehicle and it was probably loved by them, as most of us feel about our vehicles. There's a lot of old junk here. This place has been destroyed. Probably at one point this was some kind of structure, just collapsed. A Park Service report states, an incredible amount of refuse is evident everywhere on this site, ranging from modern garbage to old machinery parts to vintage 1940s and 1950s car bodies, the entire site resembling a tremendous junkyard. And their evaluation and recommendation reads, the Argenta mine never yielded a profitable output, nor do any structures of historical significance remain on the property. The site was not an important Death Valley mining operation and is not eligible for inclusion on the National Register. Almost looks like there's like an old rail bed here. Maybe they transported stuff down by rail cart. Some kind of wash basin maybe. Bed springs, gas can. Nice piece of pottery. These look like they're vehicle pistons. Boyko 166A. Another vehicle over here. Just the front. After an hour of searching for a match, I think this is most likely the front end of a 1940s or 1950s Dodge one-ton pickup, though my results are inconclusive. If you have an idea, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Man, this place is totally trashed. It's almost like it was purposely trashed. This looks like it's an old adit or something like that. I wonder what this platform was for. Almost like an old bulldozer scooper or a car seat, hard to tell. Yeah, some kind of seat, almost like a chairlift, huh? Let's go take a look up here. Wow. That must have at one point been an entrance into the mine. Probably goes way back up in these hills here. Must have been a pretty elaborate mine because they even have piping here. Or if this was the dance hall. Maybe it was a little old mining city. Cement pads. Maybe a water well in there. Can't even see down there. Put the light on. What do we got in there? A lot of spider webs. Maybe some bats. Looks like a well. Looks like a cistern, actually. What should be done with this site? Should the Park Service clean up the junk, remove the shattered glass, the rusted nails sticking up out of boards, and leave only the most valuable artifacts? Or should the Argenta mine continue to decay into oblivion for the next several hundred years? Looks like that up there where Brian's at right now is maybe the main mining pit. So we're gonna head up there. There's several more of these old cars and see what we can find. Take a look at the cistern here. Let's see what's inside. Just an empty vessel. So this mine is a little bit unusual. Normally the mines that we go to visit just have the old adits, the framing, things like that. But this one has a particularly large amount of wood and of course old cars. So kind of unique place to come visit here in Death Valley. That's a deep mine. Maybe some bats. Wow. There's some kind of either rail or gas line here. That looks like a water or gas line. Very peaceful. This is probably a 1940 Ford Deluxe, an upscale version of Ford's standard trim model. So you can see here, this car used to be a yellow car. Why do you think that only the front has managed to remain preserved? There's a star on that side. A bunch of bullet holes. But no identifying marks, no names. That tells us what this car is. There's the engine. CM2. It almost seems like this vehicle and the surrounding debris are being swallowed by the earth. How many more years would it take for all of this to be completely gone? Car junkyard. For more than 30 years, Greist labored in this lonely corner of Death Valley. He died in 1968 at 75 years old. What he found here, we may never know, but it's not hard to picture him waking each morning to the quiet beauty of the desert, content to chase a dream that may have been worth more than gold itself. What a place to try to make your living. Pretty interesting to see this moment in history that's kind of stood still here at this Argenta mine. And definitely a worthwhile Death Valley stopover. See you guys next time. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Artistic Off-Road. Please like and subscribe to join along on future adventures.